Hello and welcome to another episode of Smell Good, Feel Good Fragrance. I am David. Thank you for joining me yet again for another video. This is going to be a very quick first impressions, and it is not of one, but it's of 4 fragrances, but more specifically it is 4 clone fragrances from a company called CopyCat Fragrances. Now, if you've watched some of my videos, you'll know that I've used Perfume Parlor as some way to get hold of fragrances inspired by or clones of. And my opinion is very much that I 100% agree. If you have the ability to purchase the legitimate fragrance, whether it's Creed, Tom Ford, Acqua di Parma, whichever one it may be, if you have the means to purchase, I would say go and purchase the legitimate product, because that is the marketplace, as it were. You know, if you don't go and buy from them, those companies are long established. The fragrances that you love come from the work they've put in. However, not everyone has the ability to purchase 50ml or 100ml bottles from those manufacturers, because you're looking at, you know, 80, 90, 100 pounds plus, a lot more sometimes. And even though you can buy small decants, 10 mils, 20 mils online, and there's a lot of community in the fragrance world in the UK, at least, that are happy to decant and send you smaller amounts, there are some people that don't like doing the sale thing. They question the legitimacy of what they're getting hold of. And so there are a couple of companies that have come up online who specialize in taking fragrances using a process whereby they put the liquid or the juice from that fragrance into a machine that pulls out the different molecules and lets you know what makes it up, and then they can reverse engineer a similar fragrance. As I say, I've used Perfume Parlor quite a lot. I was on Facebook and CopyCat Fragrances popped up on my feed with, I think it was a 15% discount code on anything. So I thought, do you know what? In the interest of seeing what this is all about and seeing how they stand compared to genuine fragrances and the clone fragrances, I ordered from them their sample pack, which is normally 5 cents. Now, they're inspired by Tom Ford Oud Wood, obviously Creed Aventus, because it's the fragrance that everyone wants. Tom Ford's Neroli Portofino, Tom Ford's Tobacco Vini. You're getting a fragrance, that kind of a picture here. And then Creed Silver Mountain Water. Now, I've never worn Silver Mountain Water and I've never smelt it, so I've left it out because I have no idea of how I can compare it to something I've never smelt. However, I've owned Oud Wood, I own Tom Ford's Neroli Portofino now. I have a half bottle left. And I've had decants of Oud Wood, as I say, Creed Aventus, and Tobacco Vini. So this is just going to be a first impression, top notes, how do they smell out the bottle, and then in a couple of weeks, once I've had a chance to wear some of them, I can do a video on each one with a little bit more about the longevity and people's reactions to them. So let's start off with just Neroli, because it's the summer and I've owned Tom Ford Neroli Portofino probably longer. The samples are all 10 mils. It's $21.95 with free delivery, and you get these little 10ml plastic bottles, little bit of a label. If you order from them the full bottle, they are a normal glass bottle presentation, but this is just a little vial for the sample. So let's start with the top notes of just Neroli, which is their copy of Tom Ford's Neroli Portofino. And straight out the bottle, very, very similar top notes. Neroli's, there's some orange blossom. It's bright. There's no alcohol-y smell that you sometimes get with clones, and I've had with Perfume Parlor. Straight out the bottle, very much into the fragrance. Decent projection, because I can smell it with the paper being a little bit away from me. But if you sprayed that on a piece of paper and gave it to me and told me it was from a bottle of Tom Ford, yeah, I would think that was Tom Ford's Neroli Portofino without getting too much into it. Obviously, over the next couple of weeks as I wear it, I'll be able to tell you more whether the dry down, etc., holds true to the original, but the top notes out the bottle, that smells very, very close to Neroli Portofino. So it's a good start for just Neroli, which is CopyCat's fragrance copy of Tom Ford's Neroli Portofino. That is number 1. Let's move on to number 2. Let's move on to the biggest fragrance ever since Jeremy Fragrance launched Fragrance One for Office. This is Executive, which is their copy of Creed Aventus. It is the fragrance they have sold the most of and has the most reviews. If you've watched my previous video, I've been going through a lot of Aventus clones to try and work out which one I like the best. So let's see whether this one stacks up with the ones that I've been trying recently. So, This does smell like Creed Aventus, but it doesn't have a really sharp pineapple open. It's got a slightly greener, more blackcurranty open. So obviously one thing I said in my video about Creed Aventus is there's no way of knowing when they cloned this what they used as a basis, because depending on the batches, older batches are more fresh and pineapple-y, newer batches are more smoky. The really recent ones, slightly more fruity, but in a different way without the pineapple altogether. Certainly, whilst that does smell similar to Creed Aventus, that doesn't hit me as being that pineapple, blackcurrant open that are then going to go patchouli and musk and vanilla-y. It's certainly fresh, but that is not what I would say 100% a 99% dead cert copy. It's certainly Aventus-like, but just off the initial smell, that does not have the pineapple-y freshness that you normally associate with the very open of Creed Aventus. Again, obviously we'll see how that goes long term as I wear it over the next couple of weeks. So let's move back to a Tom Ford and to Oud Wood. Now I love Oud Wood, but Oud Wood's longevity for me is always been a problem. Not that it's bad, but if I'm spending 150, 200 pounds on a bottle of aftershave, I would like to think it will last on my skin longer than 2 or 3 hours. I get a little bit longer on clothing. I normally get 5 or 6 hours with Oud Wood, but for me, it very quickly becomes a skin scent and it doesn't last that long at all. So for me, we'll see how this smells. My biggest issue is longevity with the original. I guess if you're buying a clone that lasts the same length, you're obviously not paying as much. So it may be that the longevity is no better, but we'll see. So let's see what the open is like on this. So that is not a bad open, actually. It's maybe not as intense in the open. You know, it doesn't hit you in the same way with the kind of that big blast of woods that you get. But definitely the oud, the rosewood. Yeah, they're definitely there. Yeah, that's a pretty close open. Again, more like the Neroli Portofino, they're just Neroli. If you sprayed that on a test paper and told me it was from a bottle of Oud Wood, I would probably say, yeah, that's from a bottle of Oud Wood, so it's got a good open. Although already starting to lose the scent a little bit, I'm going to do the coffee bean thing just for easy's sake. Yeah, not wonderfully strong. The projection off the paper already, having trouble smelling that even after clearing one's nose. So again, that may just be the same issue as genuine Oud Wood. It just doesn't last very long. The molecules that make up Oud Wood just don't give you longevity. We'll move on to the final one of these four, which is again the final Tom Ford, which is Tobacco Vini. Again, another very popular Tom Ford. Not really a summer scent, so this one I might wear a little bit later on or on a cooler day because I don't really want to blast the tobacco-y vanilla fragrance over on a hot day. But again, let's see what the open on this is like. That is a really good open. That is very, very good. Maybe a tiny bit more vanilla-y, but actually now I say that, the tobacco is coming in balancing it. That's a very good, very, very close interpretation of Tobacco Vini. That's really nice. That possibly for me, maybe because it's a heavier scent, it's a bigger scent because of the vanilla and the tobacco. That to me is the best of the four so far in terms of the open being like Tobacco Vini and like what it's meant to be. That's strong, it's big and it's bold like it should be. And that vanilla and tobacco blend, you get that sweetness that then turns slightly into that slightly musky, sour tobacco really nicely. That's a really, really good opening of a clone. So far the Tobacco Vini and the Just Neroli are the two that I think have impressed me the most. If we go back to the paper with the Oud Wood, that's settled a bit and I can smell it again. But again, not very strong with the Oud Wood. If we go to the Executive, they Creed Aventus clone. Not wonderfully projection-wise, but that smells more like Aventus now it's settled down a little bit, although it still hasn't got kind of a fresh pineapple-y citrus note. It's got more blackcurrant and patchouli and woods coming in. And then for the Just Neroli, that still smells very much like Neroli Portofino. So far, Just Neroli and their Tobacco Vanille copies are the two best opens that I smelled so far. And in fact, the Tobacco Vanille paper I can smell even though it's on a little table here. That's definitely got good projection. The Oud Wood and the Executive, I'll have to wait till I try them on skin and clothing to see whether it's just on the test papers at the open that's a bit of a letdown or whether they actually aren't very strong. But I will do videos later on to let you know more about the longevity and about what other people think about those scents. So work in progress. Tobacco Vanille Just Neroli seem to be a good start and a safe bet for the moment, and we'll see if that holds true. Executive, their Creed copy of Aventus and Tom Ford Oud Wood copy. We'll have to see. I will hold back my views for now, but a little disappointed if I'm honest so far. Projection-wise, not wonderful, and also the Creed Aventus really not very Aventus-y, as I would put it, with that fresh opening. So do tune in again, hit subscribe, because when I do update those videos, if you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, you'll obviously get that notification. You can come back and see more long-term what it was like to wear these fragrances. And what I will do is I will also try and get myself either a decant or a sample of Silver Mountain water, and I can then add that in as the final one, because that's the fifth fragrance that comes in the little sample pack. Yeah, those are the four that I've tried so far. I wonder if you've tried them as well, or if you've had experience with CopyCat. Pop your comments below. I'd love to know whether you've worn any of their scents and what your opinions are. Their site tends to have only 5 or 4 star reviews, and there's been some discussion that people have posted lower reviews and they've been deleted. Now, I don't want to say whether that's true or not, but we'll have to wait and see whether these fragrances are as good as everyone else has said they are. Certainly some seem to be, some not so much. So thanks for tuning in. Obviously, if you've got any questions, pop them in the comments underneath, whether it's questions about these scents or questions about other scents you would like to see clone versions of, or suggestions of, or just fragrance you'd like me to review. I do have a video coming out soon of Dior the Parfum for l'Homme, Dior Homme. That's in the works, as will be the videos for these 4 more long term as well. So thank you for tuning in today. I haven't decided what I'm going to wear yet. It's a sunny day. I might rock, actually, Tom Ford's Neroli Portofino, the real thing, given how warm it is here in the UK. I might have whatever fragrance you choose to wear today, whether it's hot or cold. I hope it obviously smells good and makes you feel good as well. Thank you for tuning in, and do stick around and head back next time as well for our next set of videos. Have a really great day.